Quality control specialists will be dealing with data requests a lot. Not just in litigation, which is rarer for facilities, but there are data requests from, say, the Quality Assurance Group, or AOV, or NTSB, and FOIA is another huge data requester. So individual facilities will develop, or perhaps district-wide, ways that they find are the best to preserve and track. I'd say if we're just looking at important global concepts, it's important that you properly label the data so that you can easily know what it is, and then file it in a way that you can find it. You develop a system. An important aspect of tracking is keep a record of what data you give and to whom you give it. Generally speaking, the facility that has the data, they always keep the original. You'll be sending out copies. And that deals with, in part, like in the court system, they want to make sure that that data wasn't tampered with. And if it stays at the original facility, or you have a chain of custody, then it gives the court and the players in litigation that assurance that, yeah, the data wasn't tampered with. If I was to speak to folks about timely data preservation, I would say you have to know your systems, what equipment that you have in your facility, because not all will have the same retention date. You need to know your equipment, and you need to know how to reach out and say, retain that. Then you can work on certifying it, analyzing, and so on down the road, because the main thing is you saved the data. Why do we retain data for the length of time that we do? You may know that an accident package, the original accident package, is normally retained for 5 years. But a copy of the accident package is retained for half that, for 2.5 years. Why is that? Let's say an accident happens. Someone that says, I've been harmed in some way, they have up to 2 years to file a claim. Then the FAA attorneys that examine and investigate that claim have up to 6 months to respond. 2 years plus 6 months, there's your 2.5 years. That's why we have copies of accident packages retained for 2.5 years. It's vitally important to retain all the data. And before you work on the nuts and bolts, the particulars of how to do that, just take a step back and think, okay, what are the particulars of this situation? What do I need to do? Don't go on autopilot. And our office and other offices in the FAA are there to support you if you have a question. It's better to ask and then get the answer and do it correctly than to wonder and fumble through it.